Good morning. Let's get started. See, Mr. Dollar, you had dedication this morning. Mr. Burley, you got the pledge. Pull my mic up a little bit. For the minutes, I know we're gonna have some adjustments to the agenda, Mr. Honeycutt. Is that
Yes,
correct?
sir.
You want to talk about any now? Go ahead and get them on there.
At this point, we would like to add on the consent agenda the approval of a DSS Child Support Agent 2 position. This is a position that has been approved by the DSS board, and Tammy Shrinker is here if you have any questions about the need and the process and the cost of that. So we do have the sheets and the costs to the county as well. So
We have more backhoes in there,
we will. I think we'll talk about it.
so we have to catch the glimpse.
Oh, that's right. We have. Excuse me. I have the Catch a Glimpse video that we do want to do at the end.
Is that our new business?
Yes, sir. And we're going to do the approval.
Is this
We can do that now, so I'm sorry. We also have a bid for the approval of banquet chairs that the board needs to approve. But also we have a recommendation from WCDA for Withers and Ravenel to begin looking at the engineering and design work for the Bryan property, or it's now called the Goldsboro Industrial Campus.
Well, that'd be 8 and 9 under new business, the bid for the banquet chairs being 8 and then that being 9.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anything else at this point?
Not at this point.
Anything from the commissioners? All right, now we're going to have any appointments this morning?
We have 3.
We got 3 appointments. Okay. And the exclusions for the disabled veteran, elderly disabled, are they all in there?
Yes, sir. They're.
Ms. Spate, budget amendments.
Yes, sir. First one is for the sheriff's office, amount of $2193.35. This is for insurance proceeds due to an accident involving one of our vehicles. Second one is for the library, and I'm sorry, there should be two, number 218 and 225. These are together. These are just various reimbursements that the library received from outside organizations to support some of the programs the library was doing. That's 218 and 225. Then for cooperative extension, they've received a couple of grants from NC State University totaling $5,780. One will be used for Team Leaders Retreat and the other for their Lego Robotics Club. For street assessments, $22,000. You'll see both a budget amendment and an amendment to the capital project ordinance. This is additional funds that needed to be moved to that fund to cover the cost of the water line relocation expenditures that were incurred.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
I have a question on that one for Canterbury. Is this the only addition that we've had so far? Do you remember?
I believe we've had something
I think we've had a
else.
couple previous.
I would have to look back at the capital project ordinances. I think we've had at least one other change.
Yeah,
I can't remember right
I'll let
offhand.
them know how much that is thus
Okay.
far, if you
Sure.
don't mind.
Sure.
Thank you.
For the health department, $20,000. This is to move monies from the salary and wages line item to professional services. They are doing a trial basis contract with the North Carolina Alliance of Public Health Agencies to help fill a vacant position that they have. For the sheriff's office, $122.06 to receipt revenues for controlled substance tax. For the detention center, $19,841. This is just an accounting entry. It was budgeted in the wrong line item, so we are requesting it be moved to from equipment to vehicles. For the detention center, requesting to appropriate $150,000 in the central prison line item. These funds were originally budgeted but have not been sufficient to cover what we think we're going to owe for the entire year for safekeeping services on inmates housed at Central Prison. For the Maxwell Center, we are asking to transfer the portion of debt service that is assigned to the Maxwell Center over to that fund. We had already budgeted these funds. We're just moving them from our general fund to the Maxwell Center fund. For JCPC, we have a couple of agencies that are required to pay back some monies from their audit from 15-16, and so we are anticipating reimbursement from them so that we can pay that to the state on their behalf. And then finally, for the health department, $211,000 requesting to be budgeted and transferred to the health department. This is for the contract with MHA Works to conduct a feasibility study on the health department building facility needs.
When are they gonna start that?
They are gathering information now. So it has started officially. Kendall has gotten floor plans and basic information and construction dates and those type of things. So they're starting to analyze the data and gather that now. We have not got a kickoff date to begin working with staff yet, but they have the data that they're starting to analyze now that we have.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
on that one, the $211,000, that's just to do the feasibility study?
Yes, sir.
I've been in the wrong business all my life.
I don't disagree.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
on that same subject, this is also to determine if the condition of the old COB building, is that part of this?
Yes, sir. That's
Whether
what
we need to tear it down or not?
renovate or tear down, yes, sir.
Okay.
Or can the building be used for any other purposes?
Okay.
So,
All right.
Mr. Manager, this went out to bid?
Yes, sir.
It went out to bid?
Yes, sir.
Not just, okay.
yes, sir.
That was that thing
Yeah.
that George worked on for so long because they kept changing the
Right.
to get
Right.
the rules. They probably pinned them down. It took them about 4
Right.
months.
Yes, sir.
I told him I'd do it for half that price and just give him my opinion on the matter.
I'm sure you,
You want a second on that?
Any other questions of Ms. Spade?
Going back to 222 on the street assessment, the
Yes,
figure
sir.
that Mr. Mayo asked for, I'd like to have that also, please.
Okay, they're working on it now. They're sending me emails about it.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Anything else on that?
well, before we completely leave health, did Kimberly give you a educated, construction idea of what he thought would be the best new or renovated? And there's always pros and cons.
There are pros and cons. If I'm a betting man, it will say renovation will be too much.
That's what I would.
If I'm a betting man.
Understand the corrosion is what's holding the pipes together anyway.
Corrosion, if you look at how it's laid out, is laid out for a hospital with wide halls and it doesn't flow well. So it would be a difficult renovation. However, it could be possibly used for additional office space at some time. So, they're going to look at that as well. But the nice thing about this, we've got some of these costs, if we do go new construction, Georgia did an incredible job about negotiating part of this fee that would be able to move forward if we looked at construction drawings. So it's not all sunk costs that we won't get anything back from.
Well, and the reason that you sort of went on to what sometimes we always hear, it's not good enough to be used for this, but we can do something and use it for that. And, if the health department was doing major surgery or something down there, with all the new technology in place and so forth, but
Thank you, ma'am.
if some other department within the county government can use it for something because it's renovated. And I understand that about all the roads and all that, but the roof and the foundation, I mean, if it's not leaking, or if the foundation's not correct, everything else is up for grabs, the way I see it. My
Well-
little meager.
And there's new parts to that building and there's old parts to that building, so, you know, probably you would look at minimum of some of it coming down, you know, the older parts of that building. So, I think I can't remember the age, but it's close to 100 years old, part of it, if I'm not mistaken.
Isn't that where we've recently, when I said recent years, didn't we put some new elevators or something in there?
Yeah, we do.
Chillers
Yeah.
and
New elevators.
that was pretty expensive. Can any of that be salvaged? And
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. I know somebody gonna come in and give us
Yeah.
a great picture now, so
Yes.
I'll hold my questions
Okay.
to them. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
I had one other question, Mr. Chairman.
Sure.
In reference to that. This doesn't in any way affect or part of the study of where we may put DSS over here at the Wayne Center. Is that still on the,
It is still on, yes, sir.
on the radar?
It's still on the radar, yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
So pardon me, just, some
Sure.
of Wayne Center's gonna come down
And
and
from the discussion at the Facilities Committee is that once we do move over to the Maxwell Center, the discussion is to go ahead and look at taking down the Wayne Center. So, I think that was, if my understanding, that's already been an agreed upon.
Yeah.
So I've already asked Kendall to start getting some cost and figures and bidding that out, because we want to do that really as quickly as possible once we move into the.
There's only one part of that facility over there that's worth keeping, is that where the FSA?
Yes, sir.
That's.
And that's where we're looking at the facilities plan talks about moving DSS to that site.
And don't forget, on that, speaking about that, if you remember, Earl Merritt, when he was here, brought up the fact that there's money available. So let's don't forget that, to research that.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Right, moving on to the proclamation of Glenn Hartman Day. And that is, Town Pipe was asking us to do that. You know something about that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he was mayor and fire chief, and he's been very active in the town of Pikeville for many, many, many years.
Yeah.
He had 50 years of service this year, and a number of years ago, probably 10 years ago, Pikeville Fire Department started recognizing their 50-year members, and Mr. Facettini was the first one, and so Glenn, we just second.
All right, next is a resolution supporting the Atlantic Coast Pipeline as recommended by the US 70 Corridor Commission. I assume you guys voted on that, or?
Yeah.
I certainly think that's something we need to support for growth in eastern North Carolina. New business, we're gonna have a presentation by, I'm sorry.
Mr. Chairman, since Tammy's here, do you want to let her make
Yeah,
the
let's do that. Let's do that.
of the position, and
Yes.
so we'll.
Tammy, if you'd come on up. That way you might can go back to work.
Good morning. This child support agent 2 lead worker position was actually approved by the DSS board in August of 17, and it just has not been approved by this board. This is a lead support agent where we can train our agents. We have a very inexperienced staff in child support. So we need some additional training. We've brought in a lot of state training, and they've actually come to our office to perform that training. But we just feel like this position will allow capacity to continue training, to act in a supervisor's absence, and to kind of stabilize that unit. So, as I said, it was approved by the DSS board in August, and it just never made it this far.
Questions, comments?
Well, being on the DSS board, of course, Commissioner Daughter was on it last year. The need is definitely there. We need to train as many as possible because we do have a lot of new people in certain departments.
Yes, sir, and the good news about this position is it's at least 66% reimbursement. So it's a lower cost.
That's the key right there.
Yes, sir.
Are you going to go out and interview, I mean, recruit, or you got somebody on in-house that can do
Well,
it?
we're going to post, outside and inside. We like to do that to see what's available. We do have, I believe, some candidates internally that we will
I
look
thought
at.
you might.
Yes, sir.
Other questions?
Mr. Chairman, can we put this on the consent agenda?
I would say so. Yeah.
It's already there.
It's already there.
What is? Okay.
Number 6.
Yeah,
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Terry.
Thank you.
yeah, that's number 6. Okay, after that, back to new business, the DWI Task Force, Jason Hill, Sergeant Jason Hill. And then Amy Bauer is going to be coming in and give us a brief presentation about the U.S. Cover Troops, 135th. And after that, we've got, I guess Paula's coming over to do the
Yes, sir.
senior games.
Paula and Stacia.
Okay. And after that, Craig will give us an update on the CDBG-DR. We've got a motion to approve the sale of surplus property on Edgerton Street. Anybody want to see that? And then we'll need a motion after that to approve request from ALP aid application.
That's the airport layout plan. We have already approved of W.K. Dixon doing the work. This is the grant agreement with the state to fund that plan. And it comes with a 10% match that we're doing from the Eastern Fund.
After that, we'll have county manager's comments and the board of commissioners. And just remind everybody that we do have a luncheon today at Farm Bureau at 12 noon. I'm sorry, 789, which is on my other agenda over here, which is a video.
Right.
And then A is the bid for banquet chairs, and 9 being the WCDA
Engineering services.
engineering. I can't even read my own writing. I need to write it in one place or the others. And we will need a closed session this morning, and that will be for what reason, Mr. Board?
To consider the, the purchase of property, to discuss business in Wayne County, to discuss prospective employees, and to talk to me to preserve the attorney-client privilege.
Is there a motion to go into closed session?
So moved.
We have a motion to go in closed session. Any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your right hand.